Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another video. About this time we are going to do it on LinkedIn banners. If you're not familiar with us, on our previous videos we did one too as well for a YouTube channel art, which is the same thing like banner, and today we're going to be doing it just for LinkedIn. If you haven't already, do subscribe, drop a comment below, and check out the 30-day free trial for the Pro series here on Canva.com. And if you need that link is in the description below, so check it out. Alright, so coming here to the page, we've signed in to our Canva, and we are on the dashboard here. So we have our home, our templates, our features, right? Coming to templates, we're going to scroll straight down into LinkedIn banners, and that is just over these previous videos. And we are going to click LinkedIn banners and see the templates they have to offer. So remember too, if you catch this on our last videos, just before we kind of dive into this information, the banner is what's going to be up over it. So you're going to see a lot of the elements that are like moving. Don't let that worry you. It's not going to move for you because you're going to download this as like a PNG file as well. So don't worry, and we're going to go over that in just a moment. Alright, so we can create a blank banner. It's just a blank page. We can start from almost nothing, and I'm going to go over that too. So if you're thinking, well, Brent, a lot of your videos are kind of the same, that's right, they are, because honestly everything is very put together in the same format, so that way you don't get confused, and it really makes it extremely easy to use. So you're going to see it and you're like, oh, okay, I remember that, I remember what that element was, oh, I remember how to embed a video and audio and so forth and so on. Alright, so let's take a look. Let's see. We need something for a professional page. Let's see what this looks like. Let's see, blue and white architect link banner, right? That's actually pretty cool. All right. We have this one as well. Okay, some shapes. And if you know, it's just more like this. So anything that's kind of similar to the style, design type deal, it will show here more like this. And you can explore more too. So like, if you need like technology LinkedIn, technology computers, LinkedIn banner, right, the same. Technology LinkedIn will come here as well. And we can kind of come from here. Alright, let's take a look. I like this one. This one keeps showing up, and I want to save it too for later. And when you click here, it's just going to show. See, added to likes. And we're going to customize this template. Alright, so we're going to allow the template to load, like 5 seconds. 5, 4, see, there we go. Alright, as you can see, it is the email here. It is what he's trying to apply for, the name, a cool little dot, and his address, and right here to reallyGreatSite.com, another one. So this is the website, and this is the email address, right? So, as you remember, there are all of these, and this is just for the banner. Right, so this is all the backgrounds for the banner. We're going to keep this some kind of similar. And when you want to really play with this, you can actually add another page, the same. And you're going to see this right here. So we're going to do both, right? So we can kind of work with, not only with the template, but we're going to create our own in the same way, right? So let's say Joe Smith, right? And I'm going to stagger them up here instead of the same. And of course, you can just kind of like bring it over the same way. Of course, now this is with like LinkedIn, so there's a lot of things you may not want to add for that LinkedIn account. I think this is actually super cool just the way it is. But for example, if you were doing this, I wouldn't want to put like something that's unreadable, right? So like if I do this, right, like that's cool for a signature, but not quite for it to read the name. So that's my opinion as well. So I'm going to change everything to the calligraphy settings as well. So just that we have it here. Now I changed everything for the text, so it's some kind of the same. Now you can see that architect, because of the change, it dropped down the T, so I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. Alright, and of course you can kind of like do this just like how we did for the banners. If you're doing it for like a post too, the same deal. And we're going to place it right there. Okay. Alright, so this is it, and this is the line. Maybe you want to change the line. That's cool too. So here we can go to elements, and when we come to elements, you can see like the lines and the shapes here. And I'm going to delete this one actually. So I'm going to right click, delete, and I don't want that line there. And the dots here, I see it's still there. Alright, delete, and there we go. Lines and shapes, I'm just going to swing on in through here and look at the lines and the shapes. These are the shapes. I don't want the shapes. I'm going to stay with the line, but I just want to kind of adjust that line, right? I am going to do the two arrows, and because I did this here, I'm going to drag it up. And remember, because when we are, if you select this page, it's going, when you just double click, it's going to bring it on the second page. I'm going to go ahead and delete this for now. All right. Delete. There we go. And I'm going to trash the page. There we go. And I'm going to bring it over, and I'm going to rotate it. All right. And that is my rotation. Let's make it kind of hard with the mouse for me. All right. There we go. All right. And I'm going to move into the center. You can see, oh, there we go. Oh, not quite there, but we can bring it over. You can see how I'm dragging and dropping it. And there we go. And this is the line. And of course, if you want to make it a little bit bigger, right, you can, if you would like. And so you have the arrows, and we change that. Now, when we do this, we can also change the color of that said arrow, the same. Just the same right here. So it's your choice again. When we're crawling down for the shapes and the sizes, the elements, we can come back. And what's really cool about Canva is that when you're coming through here, a lot of the same style, like the graphics, right? If you notice, you probably haven't seen these quite before, but it kind of puts it somewhat in the similar style again too. So that's kind of cool, and I think, or I'd like it. So if you want to add something a little extra too, a little extra sparkle, you can just drag and drop to put a little extra color to it. So we have those choices as well. That's not too cool. And when you be careful when you're clicking through, because they can. Let's go to all. Let's see all. Because if you're double clicking, it can actually just add to the page, and something you didn't mean to do. And let's bring this and make it a little smaller, and we can change the color too. Or not for this one, but we can change the animation too as well. But it doesn't make sense because when we're doing the animation, we are doing just a banner. So it's a little different. So you can change all of this. I'm not going to have him as an architect. I'm going to say that, and because we didn't double click, it does that for subheading. There we go. We'll move this over to right here, and I will expand this box. And we're going to make this about 60. Too big, right? I think it's a little too big. And we can bring it down either way. All right. So let's say he is not a architect, but he is a web designer. All right, let's come back and bring it over. Because when you click, and if I just hit delete, a lot of the times it will delete the whole thing. So be wary of that. Let's see, go ahead and type our text. And then we'll bring that up, and we'll bring it down to calligraphy. And that's what we had before. All right, calligraphy, calligraphy, calligraphy. And when we come down, there we go, there's web design. And I'm going to use this to drag and drop and make it centerfold. And there we go, web design, and there we go. See how I did that? When you do this, it gets rid of it. So you need to double click just to put your attention on it again. And I am going to say, let's see. We can say JSS at spacedesign.com. that's my email address, and I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger too. And I'm going to change that as well to calligraphy, and maybe, there we go. Alright, now I have that, and that's it. Right, so that's my email address, and you're going to be able to change all of this the same based on how you want it to be. Alright, so once we come here and we can delete, we can say 548 Tall Till Road, Tall Road, Wisconsin, something like that. So whatever you want that to be. I'm just going to delete this for now, get that out of my way. And I'm going to actually drag and put him here too. And you can see how it stacks over. I actually want this to come forward. So I will bring forward, and there we go. And he is over now. Alright, so now we have that, and we can choose to come to the styles. Remember, the styles is the text. We went over this before, so you can actually use your own customized palettes here as well. And that's for everything, and that's just your colors, and then you can save your fonts that you like to use as well, so you can create your own style. And that will just pull up another page, and you're going to be able to do this. Alright, that's my logos, right, the brand kit, and the brand fonts as well. And you can do the content planner, right, you can have all of your designs, things I shared with you. You're going to be able to come back to this a little bit later on. Alright, let's see, go back to our page. Okay. All right, now this is our template that we just kind of changed around. So let's say you just kind of want to copy some kind of way. Maybe you don't want the background. Let's go to the background first. We can change it to any kind of background. Don't worry. This is what we recently used before for banners. So I can change this, use that as a background even. Maybe it's not the best, right, for LinkedIn, for example, but you get the idea, right? So we can keep this. Now this is the background, and now we can come to, see, I'm going to make everything else first. I'm going to come back to elements. This was like the magic recommendations, right? So we can come here, right, add a little color here, like a stamp, and say within the stamp, for example, I want to put a name. I can do that too, so I can do text or an email address, for example, so you can kind of customize it that way. And I'm going to put this here in the center, and I'm going to bring that font just up a little bit, and click, and then start to put my text. So if you notice like how I have the email address here, I can do the same, JSS at spacedesign.com, and I can change this the same. And so I've made that little pretty cool, and black, and the font I can change to something like bright, right, and that's my email address here, and I can bring it up. So I've even turned that pretty cool. So email, right, and even the same, I can come back to elements. I can do a box, even if I want to do a box. So there's a lot of fun, especially like with boxes and shapes, that you can really kind of customize. The same, just to kind of organize your information for LinkedIn too. No, don't want that. We can delete. Let's see, let's do the black box. The same, and I can put it here. And we're just going to do shapes and just kind of do it this way, right? And okay, and we're done. Alright, and we can also change the color of the box. Say if we want to make it blue, we can make it blue, right? So maybe I will keep it the same kind of color scheme as a circle, and I think that will fit just nicely. Alright, so coming back to text, and let's add the body text. And I'll click, and I'm going to drag here. And let's say something Right, so I'm going to put my text first, and I'm going to put, let's say 548 Tall Tail Road, right, enter, Wisconsin, Alright, and I'm going to highlight everything the same, so I'm going to double click, and I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to do the same calligraphy. So bright. And I'm going to move it into the center. And you can see the little purple lines, and they're going to allow you to put it like dead center. Alright, and now I can move this a taste too. The same, but just a little, and then I need to move this to have the same effect. Alright, so now we have that, and now let's come back to elements. And I'm going to go to line, because I want another line, just kind of the same. Just kind of the same here, and I can see, oh, well, you know what, that's pretty cool. You know what, I like this one. And I am going to rotate. Just a little bit. And there we go. Alright, and now that I have moved it, we're going to delete. And we're going to move by dragging it as well. And you can see with the purple lines that's coming up vertical and horizontal, they will make it exactly in line. And now I can put another box, or I can do something differently. So I have the boxes here that I want, right? So I'm just going to put text now above it and leave it the same instead of just the boxes, right? So I can do text, I can do a subheading to make it a little bit bigger as well. And I'm going to move this one. And I'm going to delete the text that's already there. And I'm going to say the same thing. Right, and I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it italics this time. And I'm going to make it bigger. And as well as change that font to something a little bit different than what we had before. And so there we go. And now maybe I want to bring a special attention to this, so I want to change the color. And I want to change it to maybe a gray or a dark gray color instead of black, right? That's just my choice. Now the same, we're going to do a subheading. And let's see here. And I can delete and say Mr. Joe Smith. Right, and again, change the font, or I'm sorry, not the font, but the size. All right, so I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit, so I can click, and I'm going to come down, and I'm just going to kind of stagger it again, some kind of the same. Alright, I have Mr. Smith bigger from my mistake, and I'm going to make him smaller for the moment. And there we go. Alright, now double click, highlight all, change the font to the same, and we can come down back to Findel. And when I click, there we go, and I'm going to click done, and click the text, and I'm going to come over right here. Now you can see, now we've completely done this design a little bit differently, right? So some kind of the same, we did this, but, let's see, move this over. And we did this all kind of based on somewhat of the same design, but a little bit more custom with just a regular page. So you can do this from blank or a template, and you can actually, as you're doing, especially with the banners, because they're so small, you can kind of look at one and kind of like copy but change it to, or you can just change it all just from the same, like deleting or covering over it or changing, right? So you have that choice as well. And when we come to like animations, of course you have like all of this, but it doesn't really, it works great if it's like if you're sharing this like maybe on Facebook or Instagram, your this banner to get attention for your CV and your information, perfect, right? But for this, because you're going to be printing it probably, or you're going to upload it, it needs to be still. So you can have this too. and it's going to be on LinkedIn. So you can just keep it as still, and you can save it however you want, right? So you can even do transparency for it as well, right, when we have the colors. So we have a lot of that to kind of offer for you here on this banner. Let's delete that. So when you're finished, you can share it with a friend, get their opinion. You can actually come over here and you can download it, or just download right here, and you can present it, share a link as well. Alright, so if you're ready to download, just click download. You can do PNG, JPEG, PDF standard, right, SVG, MP4 video, or as a GIF, right? So typically for that, you're going to do the PNG, and then you'll just click download, and it will pop up and start downloading, and then it's saved, and you can see it right here. And there you go. Your download just automatically started. If not, well, continue editing, go to your homepage. And we'll go to homepage, and so you're finished. And you have that done. And you're going to be able to find that too right here, blue and white architecture lineup. Right, that's what we have. And just click, and it comes back, and you continue editing. Alright guys, that is all for today. That is your LinkedIn. If you haven't, do subscribe, drop a comment below, and if you need that link for that 30-day pro series for Canva, that link is in the description. Have a wonderful day, guys.